Hello everyone, welcome to my video. So what's to become of our future? Responsible freedom of self-determination, becoming truly self-confident and free, to unconditionally be responsible for oneself without being coerced to accept some outer authority. The changes that are coming are going to affect the males the most because males are the most shut down, not only genetically, but spiritually as well. This is a general observation. The love that you hold is the pain that you are carrying, lifetime after lifetime. What are belief systems that you have believed to be true? And what belief systems have you actually experienced to be true? We are always re-evaluating our belief systems. Our reality is nothing but belief systems. We have all made decisions where we withheld our love. It's time to grow out of that. The shit's about to hit the fan. Fear is withholding love. Your path and happiness depend on being able to obtain the truth. Most of the truth isn't available. The frequency of the planet has been raised to move, change, and enlightenment along. Great tolerance in situations will be needed. There are delusionary discriminations between people. We are carrying the influences of thousands of centuries in our DNA, both positive and negative aspects. We are now being prepared for advanced maturity. Every race exhibits its own mentality. Habitual cultures will be contradicted. Tests of maturity will take place through mental conflicts, our chains of thoughts. Now, situations may be more difficult to transcend because our preparation for the future is in accord with our level of consciousness. Positive and negative aspects will be weighed in our consciousness level. Those who prepare will be ready to evolve to another density. The planet is changing very quickly. Through the lineage of our races, a clarifying of the original intent in all of us is being brought forward in a period of sincerity. Our world is a place of veiled consciousness. In order to be embodied in all physicalness, all frequencies should be assembled in a whole intent. The anxieties we have are a result of the conflict within a limited level of consciousness. This is why people cannot be themselves, and yet we desire to possess everything. The reflections of our evolutionary physicality cause us not to live comfortably. Our religions cause us to unify our physical bodies with our abstract egos. We call this progress. Stop looking to your physicality to bring you enlightenment. Your bodies are the effect of the cause, which is intent, moved by emotion, which creates physicality. Over the past, education of the soul took on many incarnations of life and death of the physical body. Situations and reincarnations would reflect this system as it appears. Everyone can transcend their physicalness in accordance with the degree of consciousness attained. People do not have a concept of consistency and have become extremely fragmented. Religions became divisions of beliefs and conflicts took place. The worship of belief systems and idolatry came into existence. Our races can attain the truth and our full essences by freeing ourselves of conflicts and contradictions. Ask yourself about yourself. If we don't become unified with our original intent, we will not be in our frequency to take advantage of assistance from higher forces. People become detrimental to the planet if they don't break the denial within which leads to conflict. There are people that cannot attain respect for self and self-awareness in the galaxy. They are being kept under control. Their evolution is made in an indirect way. People have been manipulated by other forms of life on planetary systems, which were negatively charged. Over the past, they have tried to prove to our ancestors their technical power. Fear has been created with mankind. We are here to erase these fears. Our planet has the lowest and highest primitiveness and is full of contradictions. The religions have helped people evolve and have not been released. Religions have refused to let go of a system of beliefs that have not served the people. We can use our common sense to free ourselves and be as one. There is going to be a graduation out of physicality. This means that people will be starting over. This has to do with genetics. Our physicality is a sum of 22 alien races. Blue blood is copper-based and extraterrestrial. Someone with blue blood can live in other environments and does not need oxygen to survive. We are destroying our environment and are undergoing an ozone crisis. We have less oxygen in the air, now causing premature death. Orion groups have impressed upon humans that if they get rid of some of the races on the planet, the extraterrestrials will use their technology to restore the Earth to its original state. Some of that genocide was to be done by viruses that were created by crazy people in positions of power. Many of them go back and forth to the moon, which you may find hard to believe. There are ruins on all parts of our planetary solar system. There is life on other planets, both plant and mammal life. We were all blue bloods and royalty, but our physicality is not what it was because of nuclear war. For instance, how did water get on the moon? It's because it had atmosphere. It was moved from its axis like Earth was. The flood of Noah was a moving of the planet from its original orbit. That's what caused the flood through the use of technology. But we can do these things if we use our minds and clearly focus on intent. We need to remember who we were before we fell into time and physicality. In our linear measurement of time, war occurred in our solar system, in our history. This invasion was led by the Orion Group. This war was destructive on many levels and frequencies of physicality. Science would be able to reveal this if it let go of bigotry. This war was devastating to our physicality. We have our skin tones because of nuclear war. Orion was interested in the females of our races because of their procreative and reproduction strengths. Our truth has been revamped and history has been misleading and written by the conquerors. Destructive extraterrestrial races have been forced to leave Earth because of the damage they caused to our physicality. We were originally green-skinned. We know this from DNA samples of our blood, which is from 22 blood types and contain copper traces. Pituitary and thyroid areas of our bodies were fully functional. The damage done to these areas was caused by radioactivity in the air caused by nuclear war. The air was like this for a long time. It caused the genetic memory of these organs to be closed and less functional. Our war has experienced drastic changes in climate change and massive fluctuations. Because our blood was damaged by the environmental factors, it was necessary to create contained environments above and below the Earth. The Garden of Eden was an artificially created habitat and was created in this way. Our planet has been affected by the radiation. We had 3 suns to begin with on Earth, and now 2 remain. Think about that for a minute. Our bodies originally contained a balance of zinc, magnesium, copper, and iron. We had green blood, and some even had a gold tint in it. This helped us survive in a high carbon dioxide atmosphere. Because of this skin color, the only stars in our system that affected our physical form were in the color spectrum of orange, red, blue, and green. Think about this. A holograph is a group of frequencies. Many of our races were stranded on the surface, and genetic changes were a result of radiation damage. Our race went from green to red to yellow to black to white. Red are the natives, or the Egyptians, and so forth. The yellow are Asians. Afro-Americans are black. White races are genetically considered to be the weakest. This puts a whole new light on prejudices. The Nazis may not be happy about this. As a result, the survivors were genetically altered and became white through edema, which is swelling caused by excess fluid trapped in body tissues. They were forced to live underground and resurface sometime later. The copper bloodline is a small race on our planet, but it is the strongest genetically. The red race is the easiest to discover and understand. This would explain why there are so many abductions of the Native Americans on reservations, and why even today they are still being persecuted. When you're a coward, you suppress the strongest. Many of us don't do much about it and don't want to get involved. We think it doesn't affect us. That's someone else's issue. The red is the closest to the original form among you. Your physicality had a natural defense to positive and negative frequencies due to the copper mineral in your blood. This lack of copper in your blood now has caused a partial loss of brain capacity and nervous system. Remember, your DNA contains cellular memory. It is possible to unlock this memory by the use of such minerals as copper. Your blood systems adapted to iron because of the copper depletion due to radiation. Be at one.